The dark web is a subset of the internet that operates on encrypted networks and is intentionally hidden from standard web browsers and search engines. To fully understand the dark web, we need to explore its structure, functionality, legitimate and illicit uses, the technology that supports it, and the risks associated with accessing it. Here's a comprehensive breakdown. The internet can be divided into three layers: the surface web, the deep web, and the dark web. The surface web is the part of the internet that is publicly accessible and indexed by search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo. It's what most users interact with on a daily basis and includes websites like Wikipedia, news sites, social media, and e-commerce platforms. The deep web refers to parts of the internet that are not indexed by search engines. This includes content that is hidden behind paywalls, login pages, or password-protected databases. For example, bank accounts with online banking information, accessible only through secure login. Email services where personal emails are stored on servers, accessible only with login credentials. Academic databases with subscription-based research papers, journals, and institutional resources, and private networks such as corporate intranets or government databases. The deep web makes up the vast majority of the internet, but it is largely benign and composed of non-public information such as your private documents stored on Google Drive or Dropbox. The dark web is a small fraction of the deep web that is intentionally hidden and requires specific software to access. Unlike the deep web, which contains legitimate and everyday private data, the dark web is designed for anonymity and privacy, often hosting both legal and illegal activities. It's not accessible via traditional web browsers or search engines. To access the dark web, users need specialized software that facilitates anonymous browsing. The most popular methods include Tor, or the Onion router, is the most widely used tool for accessing the dark web. It works by encrypting a user's internet traffic and routing it through a series of volunteer-operated servers, known as nodes, across the globe, each adding a layer of encryption. This process makes it extremely difficult to trace the origin of the traffic. I2P, or Invisible Internet Project, is another tool for anonymous communication, although it's more focused on peer-to-peer messaging and file sharing rather than anonymous web browsing. Freenet is a decentralized peer-to-peer platform that allows users to anonymously publish and access information. Freenet is more niche compared to Tor and I2P, but is used for sharing files and hosting uncensored forums. Tails, or the Amnesic Incognito Live System, is a live operating system that runs from a USB drive and is designed for privacy. It routes all traffic through the Tor network, ensuring a high level of anonymity. Dark web websites often use the Onion domain extension, indicating that they are accessible only through the Tor network. Unlike normal websites with recognizable URLs like example.com, dark web URLs are long strings of random characters, which make them harder to find and memorize. For example, a .onion site URL might look like kpv7ki2v5agdu7cil.onion. The dark web prioritizes anonymity for both users and site operators. It relies on layers of encryption and decentralized networks to obscure identities. No one node in the Tor network knows both the origin and the destination of the traffic, ensuring a high level of security. Despite its reputation, the dark web has many legitimate uses, especially for people who need enhanced privacy and security. Whistleblowers and journalists often use the dark web to communicate securely. Platforms like SecureDrop allow sources to submit information to media organizations anonymously. This can be crucial in authoritarian countries or regions where exposing corruption, human rights abuses, or governmental misconduct could result in punishment. Activists and dissidents in countries with strict censorship or surveillance use the dark web to communicate and organize. It allows them to bypass government-controlled internet services and access uncensored information. People concerned about online privacy, especially those facing surveillance or persecution, may use the dark web to protect their identities and secure their communications. This includes political activists, journalists, and everyday users in restrictive environments. Cybersecurity researchers sometimes explore the dark web to monitor emerging threats, track cybercriminal activities, and investigate vulnerabilities. This research helps improve defenses against hacking, fraud, and data breaches. The dark web is also notorious for hosting a variety of illegal activities due to its anonymous nature. Some of the more common illicit uses include black marketplaces. Dark web marketplaces offer a wide range of illegal goods and services, such as drugs. From recreational drugs to prescription medication, many dark web markets are hubs for drug trafficking. Weapons, firearms, explosives, and other illegal weapons are sometimes sold on these markets. Stolen data is also a big one. Hackers often sell stolen credit card information, social security numbers, or bank account details. And then there's counterfeit money. Counterfeit currency and fake passports or identification documents are also available. Some of the most notorious dark web markets include Silk Road, which was shut down in 2013, Alphabay, and Hansa Market. Hacking and cybercrime services. The dark web is home to numerous forums where hackers offer their services. These range from hacking email accounts or social media profiles to launching distributed denial of service, or DDoS, attacks on websites. Ransomware as a service and malware development are also common offerings. Fraud and scams. Fraudulent services such as fake IDs, counterfeit currencies, and scams targeting individuals, businesses, or even governments are rife on the dark web. Many dark web users are themselves scammed by fraudulent vendors who take money without delivering the promised products or services. Human trafficking and exploitation. One of the darkest aspects of the dark web is its association with illegal and immoral activities, such as human trafficking, child exploitation, and other forms of abuse. Law enforcement agencies around the world are working hard to track down and eliminate such operations, but their existence is one of the dark web's most troubling features. Illegal pornography. The dark web is also infamous for hosting illegal content such as child exploitation material. Law enforcement agencies have dedicated significant resources to locating and prosecuting those involved in these activities, leading to numerous high-profile arrests and shutdowns of such networks. The technology behind the dark web is quite fascinating and sophisticated. Let's dive into a few key components. Tor network. Tor was originally developed by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory in the mid-1990s to enable secure government communications. Today, it is a widely used open-source network designed to enhance privacy and anonymity. Tor operates by routing internet traffic through a worldwide network of relay nodes, each adding a layer of encryption. Cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin and Monero, are commonly used for transactions on the dark web because they offer pseudonymity and are difficult to trace. While Bitcoin can be traced to some extent, Monero offers more privacy-focused features, making it more difficult for law enforcement to track transactions. Decentralized networks. Some platforms on the dark web utilize decentralized networks to ensure that no single entity can control or monitor communication. Decentralization is key to maintaining anonymity and avoiding censorship. Using the dark web is fraught with risks, and it's important to be aware of them. Legal consequences. Accessing or participating in illegal activities on the dark web can lead to significant legal consequences, including arrest and prosecution. In many countries, simply browsing certain dark web marketplaces or forums could attract the attention of law enforcement. Exposure to scams. Because of the anonymity on the dark web, scammers often target users. Buyers on illegal marketplaces frequently lose their money without receiving the promised goods or services. Malware and cyber threats. The dark web is filled with hackers and cybercriminals, making it a dangerous environment. Visitors may unknowingly download malware or fall victim to phishing scams, which can lead to identity theft, financial loss, or the compromise of sensitive personal information. Law enforcement surveillance. Although the dark web is built for anonymity, law enforcement agencies have become more adept at infiltrating and monitoring dark web activities. Several high-profile dark web marketplaces have been shut down by international law enforcement agencies, such as the takedown of Silk Road, Alphabay, and Hansa Market. Law enforcement agencies across the globe, including the FBI, Interpol, Europol, and local cybercrime units, have been actively targeting illegal activities on the dark web. They use a combination of undercover operations, sophisticated tracking techniques, and partnerships with cryptocurrency exchanges to track down dark web operators and users. Some high-profile busts include Silk Road, one of the most infamous dark web marketplaces, shut down in 2013, with its founder Ross Ulbricht sentenced to life imprisonment. Alphabay and Hansa. These were two of the largest dark web markets before their shutdowns in 2017 during a coordinated international operation. The dark web is a part of the internet that serves both legitimate and illicit purposes. On the one hand, it offers privacy and security to users in repressive environments, whistleblowers, journalists, and those concerned about surveillance. On the other hand, its anonymity also fosters illegal activities such as black market transactions, cybercrime, and the distribution of illicit content. If someone is considering accessing the dark web for legitimate purposes, such as researching or protecting privacy, they should follow strict precautions to minimize risks. Use a VPN, or virtual private network. A VPN provides an extra layer of security by encrypting all internet traffic and masking the user's IP address. This ensures that even your internet service provider, or ISP, cannot trace your activity. Use the Tor browser correctly. When using Tor, disable browser features like JavaScript and cookies, which can compromise anonymity. Also, regularly update the Tor browser to stay protected from security vulnerabilities. Avoid sharing personal information. Never share personal details like names, email addresses, phone numbers, and so on while on the dark web. Doing so can expose you to identity theft or other risks. Be wary of downloads. Do not download files or click on suspicious links, as they could contain malware or other malicious software designed to steal your data. Be mindful of legal boundaries. Ensure that you are not engaging in activities that are illegal in your jurisdiction. The anonymity of the dark web does not provide immunity from law enforcement, and many users have been caught despite using advanced privacy tools. Stick to known and trusted sources. If you must explore the dark web for research or journalism, stick to reputable platforms like SecureDrop or Freenet, which are designed for legitimate purposes. The dark web is likely to continue evolving as both a haven for privacy advocates and a place for illicit activities. As technology advances, law enforcement agencies will become more adept at monitoring and dismantling illegal operations, but criminals will also likely develop new methods to evade detection. Growing law enforcement capabilities. Agencies are employing sophisticated techniques to track cryptocurrency transactions, infiltrate dark web forums, and use undercover operations to capture cyber criminals. The takedowns of Silk Road, Alphabay, and other major markets are clear examples of this. Enhanced encryption and decentralization. As law enforcement gets more advanced, users of the dark web, both legitimate and criminal, will likely adopt newer and stronger encryption technologies to maintain privacy. Decentralized networks such as blockchain and I2P will likely see increased adoption as users seek greater anonymity. Regulation of cryptocurrencies. As cryptocurrencies are central to dark web transactions, governments are developing frameworks to regulate and track their usage. More exchanges are cooperating with law enforcement to reduce illicit transactions, which may limit the financial activities of dark web markets. In summary, the dark web is a double-edged sword. While it provides essential privacy and protection for those who need it, such as journalists and activists, it is also a hub for illicit and dangerous activities. Exploring the dark web without understanding its risks can lead to significant dangers, including legal consequences, exposure to scams, and cyber threats. As law enforcement continues to crack down on illegal activities, the dark web's landscape will keep evolving, making it a space of ongoing controversy and technological adaptation. It is crucial for anyone considering venturing into the dark web to do so with a full understanding of its complexities, risks, and potential consequences.